Hello and welcome back to Wilco Week. Will these come out in the same week? I'm not sure. Wilco discussion. Um, Vanessa's back. We are talking songs. Very exciting to talk about songs, I feel like, because I think the albums is one thing, but I think you can get a bit more personal with the songs and sort of hone in a bit more specifically about what makes them work. So I'm excited to do that. And yeah, I know we both had a long short list.
Yeah.
Long list.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm intrigued to see what made the cut and see if we have any overlap. I'm sure we will
Yeah, I think
sometime. So yeah, I guess. Do you want to go first with your 20 through 11? Just
sure.
list them off. Yeah.
Yep. So number 20 is Locator off of Schmilko. Number 19 is Pickled Ginger from Star Wars. Number 18 is Muzzle of Bees from A Ghost is Born. Number 17, A Black Moon from The Whole Love. Number 16, The Universe from Cruel Country. Number 15 is Wilco the Song from Wilco the Album. Number 14 is More from Star Wars. Number 13 is I Got You at the End of the Century from Being There. And number 12 is Casino Queen from AM. And number 11 is Jesus, etc. from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Two tough cuts at the end. I know how much you like both those songs, so very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 to 11 for me. I think I have a bit less variety in the albums I've picked, but I just picked what I wanted to pick. So number 20 from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is Ashes of American Flags. 19 from The Whole Love is Art of Almost. Number 18 from Summerteeth is We're Just Friends. 17, One I Share With You from Wilco the Album is Wilco the Song. 16 from Cruel Country is Many Worlds. 15 from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is I'm Trying to Break Your Heart. 14, also from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, Heavy Metal Drummer. 13 from Summerteeth, How to Fight Loneliness. 12 from The Whole Love. And number 11 from A Ghost is Born is Hummingbird. So, so tough. They're all top 10 worthy songs for most bands, but
Yeah.
So what's your 10? Let's get a bit more in depth here.
All right. My 10 is I'll Fight from Wilco the Album. I just think it has more a classic sound to it song-wise, kind of like a 60s pop song, but like modernized with a Wilco twist to it. Just think it's a really great song, just really catchy, sticks in my mind and stands out. And I feel like I know it from somewhere. Maybe I don't, but it has that feel to it, like that I've known it forever, you know? So just the mark of a great song, I think.
Yeah, that's a great one. My number 10 from, well, let's just say, watch the albums video. I should have said that at the start, but that's fine. I'm sure everyone has. My number 10 is from your favorite Wilco album, Being There, and it is Monday. What a great song this is. Again, more in the power pop vein. It really rocks out. Love the horns. The chorus is just amazing. And I don't know, something about the way he phrases the "get me out of FLA." It's like so. I don't know. This gets me in a great mood and really infectious. And I don't know. You sort of talked about how he's really good at doing the tender side. I think this shows that he can do a really fun, upbeat song as well. I love Monday. It's one that's shot up in the ranks for me. So it's my number 10.
Nice. Number 9 is Either Way from Sky Blue Sky. Great album opener, beautiful, wistful song, but also kind of hopeful at the same time. I love the organ on the song. I love the great guitar tone on the song. It's just so warm. It just sounds so good. So that is my number 9.
My number 9 from Summerteeth, She's a Jar. Very sort of interesting song, really cool, interesting lyrics, very different lyrics. The image of she's a jar with a heavy lid kind of makes me think like she's you know, she has these things about her that he doesn't know, and you know, it takes a while for her to open up. That's kind of how I view that image. And obviously, yeah, some very unique climb aboard the tracks of the tracks of my arm, or whatever the line is. That's kind of an interesting image.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I think it's just a really great acoustic track. Um, Kind of harrowing, but also very pretty at the same time. So She's a Jar is my number 9.
Number 8 is Out of Mind, Out of Sight from Being There, the poppier version. I like both versions of the song, but I do prefer this poppier version. I just think it has like an extra bounce to it, and the backing vocals and the piano really add something to the song. And it's just always been one of my favorites of theirs that I've known a little longer. Like it's just such a catchy, great pop song. So that's my number 8.
My number 8 is a song that Vanessa doesn't like that much, and it's Pot Kettle Black from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. Again, quite a grower for me. I think it's really like catchy in a unique way, and I kind of like love the message of the song as well. It's just very easy breezy, nice listen. I'm always in the mood to listen to it. It's kind of just shot up the ranks. Maybe not as interesting as She's a Jar, but it's one that I've always loved, and it's my second favorite track on Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. I can say that.
Nice. Well, my number 7 is also from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, and that's Heavy Metal Drummer, which is just such a fun, catchy song. I see a lot of people kind of say this is the worst song on the album, and I cannot agree with that. It's the first song by them I really got into, and I've just always loved it. And I used to just really love that whole thing with the she fell in love with the drummer, because at the time I first heard it, I had a huge crush on a drummer. So it was like, oh, this song's about me. But I mean, obviously we're past that, but it's just such a great little song. I mean, it's not a deep artistic song, but it's just so much fun. So
Yeah, I think that's kind of nonsense saying it's the worst song on the album.
crazy.
Yeah. What, third favorite? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Number 7, um, actually the first appearance of this album, won't be the last. Sky Blue Sky from Sky Blue Sky. I think this is a beautiful little acoustic track. I've covered this song before. Very cool chord sequence. I feel like my vocal range is quite similar to Tweedy's, so it kind of helps me in being able to do that. And I just think as a song, it's great. The acoustic guitar sounds great. The vocals, again, are so well produced on this album. He sounds really, I don't know, it's very crisp. And yeah, if I didn't die, I should be satisfied. I survived. You know, just some really, really good lyrics, I think. So Sky Blue Sky is my number 7. I think it's great.
Number 6 is Nothing's Ever Gonna Stand in My Way Again. All one word. From Summer Teeth. I just think it's a really cool power pop song, and kind of reminds me of Cruel to Be Kind by Nick Lowe, which you know that they're kind of influenced by him somewhat, because they do cover him at one point there. It's a bonus track. I Love My Label. I can't remember which album. I think it was
The Whole Love.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm totally crazy with that comparison, because they obviously really like him. And I love power pop. So of course that really speaks to me. And it's just a really sunny and enjoyable song. It's just one that really stands out for me from that album. So
yeah, really, really great song.
mm-hmm.
Not to have it make the list, but I'm glad that you mentioned it to make up for me.
Yeah.
My number 6 is From Being There, is Forget the Flowers. Kind of mentioned having a very emotional connection to this song. I just love all the lyrics of this song. You trying my patience, try pink carnations. It's like very strange imagery at points, but it's also like, yeah, the way the chorus kind of changes each time. Don't forget the flowers, someday I know you will, and then it's someday I know I will, someday I hope I will. So it's sort of like the tone of the song kind of shifts as it goes on. But it's got this great bounce. It's really fun, whilst also having a bit of melancholy to it, which is kind of a nice dichotomy for me that I enjoy. So Forget the Flowers is my number 6. I think it's fantastic. Unlucky not to make top 5.
It's tough. It was tough ranking these. My number 5 is Please Be Patient with Me from Sky Blue Sky. Absolutely love the vulnerability of this song, just so gorgeous and raw. Stabs me in the heart every time I hear it. Um, it's just, I don't know, it's just an emotional performance. I think a lot of my top songs are the more raw, vulnerable ones, as much as I do like their more fun, upbeat side too, of course. I mean, you got to have both, but the ones that I really love tend to fall in that category, I think.
Yeah, nice. My number 5, we're going to my favorite Wilco album, which we've visited a few times in the songs list already. And it is A Shot in the Arm from Summer Teeth. It's third track on the album. Um, it's got a really great momentum to it. I love the piano line that runs through the entire song. It's so great. And then yeah, it's not really even a chorus because it doesn't repeat, but the where the title of the song comes in, it's just pounding. It's amazing, and then it mellows back down again to the verse. Um, the ashtray said you've been up all night. It's just that's just a great line. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool lyrics on this album, and this one has a few of them, and like musically as well, it really grabs me. And it's like 5 minutes, but it feels like two. It's great. Love it.
Nice. My number 4 is What's the World Got in Store from Being There. I just think it has a great melody and it's a memorable song, a beautiful instrumentation. I really like the banjo on it. I think that really stands out and elevates the song for me. And I think makes it go up into the stratosphere of being a top song. Like the melody's great, but that banjo that just really brings it to the top. So
Yeah, not a lot of overlap for us, but that's cool. We're getting to mention
yeah,
different
yeah.
things. Um,
I had a feeling my list was kind of weird. I don't have a lot of those big songs on there, so whatever.
um, so my number 4, back to Summer Teeth, and it's Summer Teeth, the song. Um, really cool sort of 60s style riff, which I really like. Um, uh, and again, I talk about these like weird abstract lyrics on the album, and I love the chorus of the song. It's just a dream he keeps having, but it doesn't seem to mean anything. There's something about that lyric that just, I don't know, I really like it. It really gets me. It's my favorite song on Summer Teeth, so that it won't make an appearance in the top 3, despite being my favorite album. I just think their songs are so strong on other albums as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I could not have this in the top 10. I think it's fantastic. Really feel good. Really good for like a summer walk. I think that whole album is, but this song especially for me. So
For sure.
Summer Teeth is my number 4.
Yeah, my top does not actually. My last song from my top album was my number 4 as well. Weirdly enough, so it's just the way it worked out.
We're spreading the
Um,
love.
yeah, my number 3 is "We're Just Friends" from Summer Teeth.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
Piano on that song is gorgeous. Again, with that Beatlesque kind of sound. Jeff Tweedy's vocal performance is so vulnerable on this song. I just think it goes that extra mile to sell the lyrics to this song as well, just that whole sentiment. So that's one that was new to me from this listen, but one that really stood out.
Yeah, there's a really great lyrical song.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a few lines like "Forget the implications, infatuation's end." It's like a very nice way of putting it. And
Yeah.
yeah, again, I like how they have these repeating parts in songs, but the lyrics sort of change slightly. So it's like over and over again, we're just friends. Over and over again, I tried to make amends. You know, good
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
I'm glad that you brought that up so I could talk about it as well because I was sad not to have it higher. I think that song kind of reminds me of like solo John Lennon kind of vibe, which is cool. So my number 3, I've got a big song here. I think maybe all of my 3 are big songs, but 2 of them especially. And my number 3 is from Sky Blue Sky, and it's Impossible Germany. Um, again, talk about the great abstract lyrics. I have no idea what this song means. Impossible Germany and likely Japan. No idea. I guess it's sort of like about someone being away from someone, but you have no idea where they are. I guess that's kind of what I take from it anyway. But the main show of this song is the guitar work, the sort of second half. Well, yeah, second half of the song. Nels Klein just going crazy. Reminiscent of Marquee Moon by Television, like I mentioned. Yeah, I just think it's fantastic. It sounds great. Guitar tone's great. Tweedy sounds great. To me, it's a perfect song. So Impossible Germany is my number 3. I love it, and it's not even my favorite on that album. So
Nice. I don't actually end up mentioning it, even though I had that album pretty high, but it's how it goes. My second song, or my number 2, is also from Sky Blue Sky. It's On and On and On.
Oh yeah.
Just think that's just a beautiful, heartbreaking album closer, especially given the personal significance of the song, because it was about Jeff Tweedy's mother dying and his father coming to terms with her death. So it's just a really emotional subject matter. You can't help but get lost in the song every time I hear it. Not only does it have resonance from a lyrical standpoint, but the music just sells that, and it sounds so good at the same time. Like, and the guitar solo on it is breathtaking. I don't know, just love it. And like, I guess it coming from it too, you look at, I'm kind of at a similar age point as maybe he was at the time in this album, like coming to terms with, people older than you getting to the end of life. So I guess it just really, really hits home. So really love that one.
It's got a very memorable like hook to it as well, which
Yeah.
got me coming back to it. Yeah. My number 2, another big one. You've already mentioned it. Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, Jesus, etc. The first song I heard, I'm sure the first song a lot of people heard from them if they weren't aware of them before this came out. Yeah, fantastic lyrics, great violin on here, just really enhances the song. Really just beautiful and soft. They not only did Wilco not make another song that sounds like this, I don't think there is another song that exists that sounds like this song. I think it's very gentle, but also melodic. The chorus is just so, it's weird. It's very catchy, but also very like somber.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost undescribable. I think it's one of the greatest songs ever written, to be honest. It was very important to me in discovering, this era of music and sort of indie alternative stuff of the 2000s, which, I've talked about Death Cab for Cutie and Arcade Fire and all those bands, and it was sort of through this song that I discovered a lot of them. This was sort of like my gateway into that, and I think it's just tremendous. And if it wasn't for an even better song, it would be easy number 1. But it's my number 2. Maybe I overplayed it a little bit, so it doesn't strike me as much as it once did. But it's still worthy of number 2.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. Still made my top 20. My number 1 is also from my number 1 is from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. It's Radio Cure though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This song just really, really resonated with me preparing for this video. Like, I don't know that I ever really paid that much attention to it before in the context of the album, but for whatever reason, it's just gone in the stratosphere this time around. I just love everything about it. It's almost like I'm hearing it with new ears. Like, I don't know, I just never really noticed it before, but it's a super cool song. I think it has like this unique sound to it. It's like, it's gloomy, but it's beautiful at the same time, but it's almost like warped sounding, if that makes sense. Like, there's something that's kind of like warped, but it works really well. And his performance on it is just fantastic. Like, at near the end when his voice cracks, like, it just gets me every time. So yeah, the song had to be my number 1. Just love it, which I never would have predicted. But
no, nice. It's good to have a variety in our lists. I don't think we've shared much at all.
not really, no.
My number 1 is one that you did have. Maybe a bit predictable based on how I talked about it in the albums video, but it's from Sky Blue Sky. It's the opening track. Either way, yeah, you said a lot about it that I agree with. Very warm, comforting rhythm guitar tone. I also love the organ as well. Adds so much. Maybe his best sounding vocal in the entire discography on this song. Very sort of tender. Especially maybe the sun will shine today in the final chorus where he really goes for it. So good.
Yeah.
Again, going to mention Nels Klein's guitar solo, one of my
Hmm.
all-time favorites. So quite short. It's like 20 seconds, but it's so good. Um, sort of mind-blowing how he gets all of that to fit in the song and it to not sound clumsy. Like he's
Yeah.
playing something quite sort of jazzy and unexpected, but it fits the song so well somehow. It doesn't feel like he's showing off. It feels so purposeful and appropriate. Um, one of my favorite songs ever. Um, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. I think it is
Yeah.
one of my all-time favorite songs. That's I can't say much better than that. It's
No, you
the
can't.
perfect way to open that album, and as you can see, maybe makes a bit more sense why I was let down by Sky Blue Sky, where 3 of my top 10 songs come in the first 4 tracks of that album.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I love either way so much.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess those are our lists. We've blasted through them, and
Yeah.
now I know we both have some lingering sad omissions that we made.
Yeah.
What have you got honorable mentions wise?
Pardon me?
What have you got
Oh,
honorable mentions wise?
I have kind of a weird variety. I've got That's Not the Issue from AM. At least that's what you said from A Ghost is Born. That was a hard cut because
Yeah.
that's a really cool song. My Darling from Summer Teeth. I Might from The Whole Love. Happiness from Schmilko. White Wooden Cross from Ode to Joy. A Lifetime Defined from Cruel Country was like my last cut because I do love that song. From the first time I heard the album, that song stood out, but just could not fit it in there. And Far, Far Away from Being There. So those are my ultimate honorable mentions. Like my original list was like 43 songs long.
Yeah.
I didn't list them all, but those were the last cuts.
So I made a point of championing The Whole Love in the albums video. I didn't have a single song in my top 10 and only 2 in my top 20. I would say I would have another 3 in my top 25. So that was tough.
Yeah.
Not have Black Moon, I Might, and Born Alone.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough. They were all very, very close. I also had 2 from Summer Teeth, Nothing's Ever Gonna Stand in My Way Again, and Can't Stand It, both very close. And then a sort of one each from a selection of albums. Tired of Taking It Out on You from Cruel Country, Out of Sight, Out of Mind from Being There, You and
Mm-hmm.
I from Wilco the Album, War on War from Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, At Least That's What You Said from Ghost is Born, and Love Is Everywhere Beware from Ode to Joy. So yeah, what an
Yeah.
interesting experience. I'm very glad you got so much out of it. I don't think you were expecting it either.
No, I wasn't. I had no idea what to expect, really. I just went along for the ride and worked out well. So
Well, that's all you can do, yeah.
yeah,
Keep an open mind and see what
yeah.
happens. So
I think
yeah,
it was good to go in without knowing what a lot of people thought about a lot of these albums. Like obviously I knew Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is the assumed number one, and I knew that people kind of are mixed on Sky Blue Sky and some of those other ones, but I have no idea how other albums are viewed. So that kind of made me be able to approach it just as like totally pure from what I thought without having any biases. Like you try not to ever have biases, but they're kind of there if you know things. So
yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like I
yeah.
said with The Ghost is Born, it's like I always give that album the thing of like, oh, I should like this more, whereas
Mm,
some of the others I don't afford that to. So no, I
yeah.
think it's an interesting way of looking at it. I think Uncle Tupelo will be interesting because I think there isn't really a standard ranking for them. I feel like all 4 of the
Mm,
albums are pretty well regarded.
yeah.
Um, so that'll be very interesting, and it'll be me, the one that's more going into the unknown.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Although sorry, it's been a long time since I've listened to a lot of these albums, like 15 years in some cases. So it'll almost be like I'm listening to them brand new again to a degree, other than No Depression. That's kind of always been a part of my life. But the other three, I mean, it's been a bit. So
Very interesting. So
yeah.
yeah, we will be there with Uncle Tupelo album ranking and a top 10 songs because they definitely do not have 10 albums or more.
No. Yeah.
um, and yeah, I think by now Always will have come out and Pretenders is coming. So loads of stuff going on. Favorite album series will be back at some point when I have less of a load of stuff to edit and upload. But yeah, thanks for joining me again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, we'll do it again for sure. And I'm excited to get more guests on and do all these kind of things. It's kind of much more fun than solo videos, being able to discuss things with people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it from us. That's our Wilco journey done. I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments saying songs that we missed.
Oh yeah.
Many of them.
Really.
But yeah.
We know.
Thanks for watching.